hard to focus, just to persevere and just to make it. But everything that's within your grasp, you gotta take it, you gotta go harder. Just dig deeper inside you to find that method, that mode that wants that hunger to survive, just to ride the grind and take it the way you gotta take it and never stop. I came to win, yeah, I came to win. I came to win, yeah, I came to win. I came to win, yeah, I came to win. Can't no one stop me, yeah, bring it in. I came to win, yeah, I came to win. Top down, faded windows tinted. Push it with it, push it to the limit. Top down, faded windows tinted. Push it with it, push it to the limit. Push it with it, push it. Winning so much that they seem wrong. Never gonna lose, that's my theme song. I'm just a kill Billy Jeans on. Back to reality.
Let's go. Yo, listen up everybody, have you heard the news? Got a brand new show that's breaking all the rules. Started out from VA and now we on the move. From local to global, cause we got something to prove. We came from the bottom, now we at the tippy top. To hold it down for our people, cause we all we got. It's a cold, cold world, but we keeping it hot. With our future on the line, ain't no time to stop. All work over here, still we having fun. Yeah, we say it like it is, ain't no holding our tongue. Go get us on the team, yeah, we getting it done. And shout out to Travell, yo, you number one. It started with a dream that turned into a vision. To educate new generations is our mission. Ears to the streets, yeah, we steady politicking. If it ain't about to change, mind your business.
Now wait a Gam and Mz, wave your hands with it. Wait a Gam and Mz, wave your hands with it. Now wait a Gam and Mz, wave your hands with it. We top picks like we all up on the gram with it. Now wait a Gam and Mz, wave your hands with it. Now wait a Gam and Mz, wave your hands with it. Now wait a Gam and Mz, wave your hands with it. We top picks like we all up on the gram with it.
You're now tuned into another episode of Gam and the podcast. I am Gam.
And I am Mz Gogetta.
And tonight we have another special guest by the name of Raven. So Raven, how are you?
I am great.
You're good?
Yes.
So how was your weekend?
It was good.
What did you do?
I watched the Super Bowl.
Oh, wow.
And I slept for real the whole weekend. Wasn't too pretty. It was pretty early Saturday, but then it ended up going down.
So you watched the Super Bowl. So was your team in the Super Bowl or no?
No, one of my friends' team was into it, so I was into it for him.
What did you do?
Nothing.
Okay,
I didn't do anything. I did go to a Super Bowl party.
Okay, how was the Super Bowl party?
It was cool.
Okay.
But no, my team wasn't playing.
Of course they wasn't. Like, your team been out there how long?
I was just there.
Who was your team?
I don't really have one, but the Steelers used to be my team. But I don't really have one because I don't really watch the game. I just like going to games and to the parties. But that's it. How was your weekend?
It was good. It was well. So please introduce yourself to our viewers and listeners of Gam and Mz.
Yes, my name is Raven. I'm from Norfolk, Virginia. I am 31 years old.
Okay, so you have kids. What high school you went to?
I went to Lake Teller.
Okay.
What you
little while.
What high school you went to for a minute?
No, I just didn't go very long, but I went to Lake Teller for probably about 3 months.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
So you started. You was like, I don't need this. I'm gone.
Yeah, school just wasn't. It's not for everybody.
That's absolutely true.
Yeah, so it just wasn't for me.
That's okay. So I know, you're sitting in the hot seat. So, everybody has a story. So we want to get into Raven's head and figure out what made Raven tick. Like, what's going on with Raven? And we want to start with going back a little bit, not so much right at the beginning. I mean, at the end. So tell us, like, how you were growing up.
I was pretty laid back, chill, like to dress. I just always just chill.
Always just chill?
Mm-hmm. So are you shy because you're not really talking? Like, are you shy?
Oh, I'm trying to figure out, like, she ain't really asking no questions, so it's just like.
Yeah, because, it's just like a, how like.
Y'all gonna edit this part out, right?
Nope. Absolutely not.
What?
We're gonna keep rocking and rolling. You're fine. Okay, so you grew up like you were into fashion and stuff like that. Like, were you like a it girl?
No, not really. Like, I was more so into, like, hanging with the guys. I didn't really hang with girls too much, too often. Yeah. And then I got 3 sisters, so those was, like, my go-to as far as girls. But I mainly just hang with a lot of guys.
Okay. So what were some of the things you were getting into, like, coming up?
I was never into sports. I kind of just like to hang out.
Yeah. Okay, let me ask you this. Let me help you a little bit. So when you were 15, what happened?
I ran away when I was 15.
Why did you run away?
Cause I felt like I could take care of myself better than my mama could.
Okay.
So,
why was that?
I don't know. I just felt that way. Like she had a lot going on. So, and she had a son, which is my little brother. And I feel like when people have kids, sometimes they tend to throw the kids off on the younger sibling. The other sibling is there. And I just felt like I didn't have a kid. So why should I not be able to go here and go do that? Because I got to watch your baby. I just felt like it wasn't right. And I had a boyfriend at the time, and I thought he had all the money in the world. You know, when you're young, you see a couple of hundred, you think it's a lot. Yeah, I ran away, and I was gone for a while. I ended up calling my mama on my 18th birthday.
So from 15 to 18,
she caught me one time at my sister's daughter's birthday party. She told my sister she was going out of town or something like that, and my sister was like, "It's good. You could come to the baby birthday party." Right. And it was off a battlefield. So I ended up going there, and my mama showed up. When she showed up with the police. Oh, and wow. Yeah, so they was like, you a minor? I was like, I don't want to go back there. They was like, you have to go back. You don't have a choice. You got to go back. So I was like, okay. So I went and got in the car. Mind you, my homegirl was there with me. We had a car parked outside. Like,
so hold on. So you were living like the life like you were already grown.
Well, I hung with girls who were a little older than me. Gotcha. And then I had one friend. She had she always been like real bougie, so she had got approved for a park house, but she didn't want it. And she ended up getting another apartment across town, but she still took the park house and she ended up renting it out to me. I think it was for like $180 a month. And I was working at it wasn't bad, but I think the rent was only like $80, so she was making like $100 off of it, you know. Right. So she ended up renting that to me, but my mama caught me at the hotel that day. We were going up the interstate. I don't know if y'all know the interstate right there by Battle Town, but you know, it's a long curve. You got to really slow down to go up that curve. Right. She was going up that curve. I hopped out the car. I was running across the street. Yeah, and then I didn't see her for a while after that.
So you really wanted to leave. It couldn't have been just because you was babysitting your little brother.
No, it wasn't. In the beginning, you know, when you're a kid, you make excuses for reasons why your parents get on your nerves. You know what I'm saying? And then when you get older, you realize like, oh, she ain't had no hard intentions, but you don't understand that when you're younger. When you're younger, all you keep saying is, I want to be a dog. I want to be a dog. That's all you want. Right. And then it was like, I had this grown adult life from 15 to 18. And then as soon as I got pregnant and I had to go back home, it was like, I remember turning 18 and probably like a week after turning 18, I didn't have no money and I was hungry. I was starving. What? And I just remember no one actually being reliable to feed me. Right. Now, if they wanted to, they could, but they didn't have to. So it was like reality.
That's what you thought about your mama.
Yeah, I was like, no, I called her on my birthday. But it was just like, after that, I started realizing like, dang, is this really what I wanted? Did I really want to be 18? Because I knew while I was out there chilling, I knew that at the end of the day, if it came down to it and I had to go home, I could go home. But once I turned 18, nobody had to open their door for me.
15 to 18, how did you get money?
I worked. I started working when I was 16 at McDonald's. I had told the lady that I had my GED. And she let me work. I used to go to work from 5 in the morning to 2 in the evening at McDonald's. Okay. And you know, the pay wasn't nothing back then neither. But man, I still would go stay at my sister's house too.
Okay, so your sister allowed.
Yeah, she knew what was going on, but she came up with my mama, so she knew my mom was kind of hard to live with. Yeah. Okay. I love you, Mom. You know, but yeah.
Okay, so you were 18 when you went back home. So from 18 to what age, like? So you had your first kid at 18, right? Mm-hmm. And you went back home and y'all kind of like repaired your relationship, so to speak.
Yeah, a little bit, yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then what happened then? Like did you stay there or did you go back? Like, cause I'm like, okay, you 18 now. Don't come home with no baby and all that.
Yeah,
too much.
I stayed with my mom for a little bit. Then I ended up leaving my mom, and I went with my sister.
Okay.
And then when I went with my sister, mind you, after I had my son, his dad had went away to jail. So when he went away to jail, I was living with my sister. Everything was okay then. And when he came home, you know, I'm still young. I want to be with my man. And my man can't come to my sister or my mama's house. Right. They just ain't having it. So we would like just go stay at hotels and, you know, stuff like that, whatever. And that went on for a little while. I was like in and out of jobs. I could never keep a job.
Why?
I could never keep it never pleased me. I could never keep a job. It was like I would get my paycheck and I was like, okay, girl, it's only little because it's the first one. Okay. But by the time you get to the second or the third one, it's going to get big. But every time the second, the third, and the fourth would come, it just never got bigger. Yeah. And I was like, I cannot do this.
You were driven by money. So money was your vice for you.
Yeah.
So with that being, so now fast forward a little bit. So with that being your vice, like, you know, nothing was ever enough. Like you working hard, you know, for that money, and then you like looking at your check, you're like, hold on, now I got $5. I work 99 hours, and I got $5. So that propelled you into doing other things.
Yeah.
So what were some of the other things that you actually got into?
Well, before I started scamming, I was doing, well, this was still scamming. I had started, they had like these little loans commercial kept popping up on the TV. And I was always into stuff that could bring me like a bulk of money. Okay. I was never into nothing where I'ma just make like $100, or I tried boosting one time and I got caught. It was the most embarrassing thing in the world. Wow. And I knew that it just wasn't for me. It wasn't for me. And it was too much of a risk for the money. So I would always try to compare the risk to the money. So then I started doing little loans for people. If I would get you approved for like $600 and you give me $150 and I do 2 people in one day, I'd have made me a quick $300. I ain't even had to leave the house. You know, so I started doing those. Those started dying down. And then that's when I ended up getting into the bigger bucks and stuff like that.
Wow. What were the bigger bucks?
Well, I just started doing like bigger loans. Oh. Like big loans. At first it got to a point where I would do like 18. Let me
ask you this right quick. So, okay, at this time you still under like what, 21, 19, 20?
By now I'm probably like late 19.
So how did you, so were you, okay, so what I'm trying to figure out, how did you get introduced to this? Like, did you see somebody else do it, or did you just say, hey, let me try this?
Well, my sister had a friend and he had came over there, and I remember like 2 days before that we had
we gotta do something.
Yeah, so like 2 days before that, this girl had ended up calling me and she was like, she had this whole scam going on at Western Union, and if we sent $500 we could get by $5,000, and we just as simple, this is me and one of my friends. So I ended up borrowing some money from a Jamaican friend. He was a good friend too. And I burnt our bridge over this. I regret it. But I was telling him about it. He was like, listen, they trying to scam you. I'm like, no, they not. She know them. I'm lying, telling him that she got the money already. Right. He ended up giving me the $200. No, he gave me $250. She called her grandma and she borrowed $250 from her grandma. So we do everything the girl tell. Mind you, we don't know this girl. Somebody else put her on to us, but they was lying just like us. Long story short, we ended up sending the girl the money. Something went wrong. Whatever went wrong on her end, she could not pull the money. Okay. And so I go to my sister's house. She was like, go pick y'all money up and we'll just try to get tomorrow. So I go over to my sister's house and I'm talking on the phone, and my sister has one of her friends over there. It's a homegirl. And I'm on the phone lying to somebody, telling them like, yeah, I just hit big. I got the money. Da, da, da. I'm trying to get them to put their money up now, because now that I done got my $250 back, something ain't sounding right. So now I kind of just want to keep this $250. I'm ducking to Jamaica for his $250. So I'm trying to get them to put their money up. My sister friend hear it. She like, put me on. So I was like, all right. So when the girl told us we could do 300, so she like, no, I want to do 5. Go home and get the other 200 from out my rent money. I said, look, we ain't gonna spend your rent money. Right, yeah. You know, we just gonna take this little $300. We're gonna see what she do with that, and then we could go home and go get all the rent money. Right. You know, so she was like, all right. She ended up sending the money. We called the girl like an hour later, like, hey, we ain't heard nothing. The girl answered the phone and was like, and who are you again? Wow. So she ended up taking the money. So it was like back to square one. Let me try to find another hustle. So So my sister friend was over there, and everybody was broke. My sister was out from her job because she had to mess her toe up. She won't making no money. It was just all bad. So he was like, I got to get back on my grind. So he ended up putting somebody in for this loan or whatever. So he come to me and he like, hey, I need you to cash it. I'm gonna give you $500. So I was like, so you need me to cash a check? Or it was a large amount. I was like, you need me to cash this check and I'm gonna only get $500. But it kind of sounded good because I was broke.
Right.
And during this time, I told you I was trying to stay with my man. So we was bouncing around from hotel to hotel or whatever.
Expensive.
Yes.
Yeah.
I go deposit the money in my bank account. He's thinking it got to sit for 2-3 days. Him and my sister, they're in the car, they waiting on me. He thinking it got to sit for 2-3 days. I come right out. Wow. I got all the money. But at first I was joking. I was like, yeah, they overdraft my account and whatever. So he was like, what? That's crazy. So I was like, sight, I got the money. So when I pull it out, whatever, he gave me $500. I get home and I tell my son, Dad, about it. Oh, he went off. He was like, we staying in this hotel. We ain't got no money. And you done went out here and did this for a dude for such and such amount. All you walked away with was $500.
Oh, well, I thought you was going to say like he was pissed off that you actually did it, but he like, nah, you.
No,
let somebody
I was thinking that he went off like he was excited about it, like let's go do some more.
No,
oh, so he was you didn't get enough.
Yeah, and when you think about it, I really didn't. You know.
So what was the total amount?
Well, the check was like $20,000.
You only got $500?
Yeah, $500.
Oh, I'm like your baby daddy.
Yeah. Yeah, it was for $20,000. The guy,
at least give me 15. You can at least give me 10.
Yeah, it was, yeah. I didn't know no better. I was young and I just needed some money. So I started just being around him. And so he kept getting my sister to do a lot or whatever. So I ended up telling, my sister or whatever, I was like, I'm about to just branch off from him and I'm about to just do my own thing.
Right.
I was like, I done watched them enough, you know, I know what to do.
Okay, so he basically had you do a scam and then that's how you got into it? Okay.
Yeah.
So you said, forget it, I'm going on my own.
Yeah, so I kind of just paid attention to what he did. Okay. I ran around and worked for him for a little minute, for a few months or whatever. And then once I caught on to what he was doing, I started putting the bait out there, started putting my name out there, finding people. And I remember the first girl I did, she was in California. She was trying to get back from California. And she had no money. So I was like, what your credit look like? So she was like, I got a 600-something credit score. I was like, you trying to get some money? She like, yeah. So I ended up putting her on to it. I did it. I think she ended up cashing out probably like $15,000. And I had ended up getting somebody to cash it. I told her to meet somebody there in Cali. And I was like, just promise me you're going to send me my money. She was like, I'm going to send you your money. She called me. She was like, well, how you want me to send your money? I got the money. I'm on my way back. She ended up getting on the plane and she bought me her money. And from there, it was like she told somebody else told somebody. And then it just blew up to like this whole
So you did this scamming for like how long though?
I started doing it like right before I turned 20 and it went on until I was 25 and that's when I went to prison.
So that was basically like so would you say you had an addiction to it?
I had an addiction to how quick the money would come.
Right.
It was addicting. Like it was addicting. And then I'm going to say I really stopped at like 24 because once I started really getting into the houses, I wasn't even doing it no more. It just so happened that somebody ended up calling me up, asking me for a favor. I ended up doing it and the people they was dealing with wasn't right. And then everything just went down from there.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
So you were 25 when you went to, I
had just turned 25.
So tell us about that. Like, how did that take place? You said you was no longer doing it. Now you into real estate. The day that it happened, like, what happened?
The day that it happened, it's so crazy how the universe works because I had a friend at the time and he had just got out of jail. Like, literally, he hadn't even been out 24 hours.
Wow.
And he had stayed the night over my house. And the next day we woke up or whatever. And I told you it was just my birthday. I think my birthday was probably like 3 or 4 days before that. And they had this big storm that's supposed to hit. We supposed to have this big tornado or whatever. So that closed the schools down. School had literally just started. We hadn't even been in school for like 2 days. And he ended up I ended up waking him up. I was like, all right, come on, let's get the day started or whatever. So we leave out the house. I take him to go get a haircut. We go get some food. I stop to the liquor store. I get a little bottle of liquor. I don't know what made me buy a bottle of liquor, and it was only like, it was probably like 11, 12 o'clock in the day.
Right.
So I bought this bottle of liquor. I ended up asking him what he was going to do because I was getting ready to go over to Hampton to go see a friend. And he was like, all right, well, just drop me off. He was getting ready to come back to my house. But it's a good thing that he did not come back to my house. So I drop him off. I go home. I wasn't supposed to go home. I was really supposed to go out Hampton. Okay. But I went home. When I got in the house, I ate the food. I took 2 shots of liquor. I didn't never drink just midday. I don't know what possessed me to say. I took 2 shots of liquor, went laid down, took a nap. And I woke up, I heard, I kept hearing banging, but I thought I was tripping. My sister friend stayed next door to me. Well, she stayed like the townhouse down. And so I thought it was her at first. I'm like, why would she be banging on my door like that? And I had like a security door up there. I called her and I was like, hey, is that you banging on my door? No, matter of fact, before I could say that to her, she was like, don't you open that fucking door. Right. And I was like, who at my door? She was like, girl, the police is at your door. So I just jump up immediately, like I'm looking around trying to figure out like what I need to get rid of, whatever. I think I was in shock. I just remember running in my son's closet and standing there hiding in his closet in the back of the house. I'm like, why am I hiding here? Right. So I had turned my phone off and hid it. But then I had to pull it back out because I wanted to call and let somebody know that I was getting ready to go to jail. And all I heard was, mind you, when I went to go take the nap, I had took all my clothes off. So I had no clothes on. As soon as I went to go hang the phone up again and turn it off, I just heard a big bang. I heard, first of all, they had the what is it called? The bull horns? Yeah, they had one of those. I just heard a big thump on my door. So I'm like, wait. I didn't want them to knock my door down. Right. And I'm like, what is going on? At this point, how hard they were coming, I didn't think I was going down for scamming. Right. I thought I was going down for something else. I'm like, what happened? I'm trying to put it together in my head, like, what is going on? So I go to run down the stairs to try to open the door so they don't have to knock the door off. Right. As soon as my feet touched the bottom of the stairs, the whole door just came off. The door was just leaning back. And they tried to pull me outside with no clothes on. One of the ladies, she was like, y'all can't do that. Y'all can't do that. So somebody had like walked in the house. They was like, she got a blanket back here on the couch. So they went and got the blanket. They put the blanket around me or whatever. They act like they want to walk me out with just the blanket. And then
so at this point, but before they ready to walk you out, did they say like
they didn't tell me until I got in the car.
So and they never said that they were looking for you.
No, they said he was like, you Raven? I was like, yeah.
I'd be like, no, she back there.
I mean, they knew who I was. I had enough mugshots. So they knew who I was. It wasn't like I could pretend it. And then I owned the house. I was living in one of the houses that I had bought, Yeah. So it was just no way around that. But once I got in the car, they let me know what I was being arrested for or whatever. I originally got arrested in the state. And I sat in the county jail for probably like 6 months. Okay. And on the day that it was time for me to finally get ready to go to court, the lawyer had ended up coming up there to see me, and he was like, hey, you might walk out of here tomorrow, but that's only if they don't have a federal indictment. And I was like, oh, okay. And he was like, yeah, so we don't know. He was like, if the indictment is ready, you gonna go. It's
ready. Okay, so had you been to jail before
yeah, I had been to jail before.
And you actually stayed?
Yeah, I did little stuff though. Like I did 30 days. I did 2 weeks one time for Rental Center.
For Rental Center?
Yes. Rental Center will take you to jail.
What? For what?
I got some furniture for them when I was 18 and
you ended up
no, and the crazy part is that I didn't keep it either. I kept messing the people's apartment up I was staying in. My boyfriend had burnt the kitchen down. He had burnt the door down. And the lady, when I went to go pay my rent, she was like, hey, I don't want your money. Yeah. She was like, I just want you to get out. That's right. Yeah, she was like, use those money orders to go move somewhere else. So, and this is exactly on the verge when I first started scamming. So I'm like, girl, I don't care. I got money here. I don't want to live here no more anyway. Yeah, I was staying out Ocean View. I had a 2-bedroom. This when rent was good. I had a 2-bedroom. It had a dining room area, living room, everything for $500.
Oh, yeah, you can't beat that. You definitely not doing that this day and time. Yeah, you can go get you a nice hotel. Hotel, but yeah,
one night.
Okay, so you did little stints prior to, but then you do the 6 months. So when you went to court that day, then like you get to walk out, and they said, "Nah, you coming with us."
I was kind of already mentally prepared.
Okay.
To not come, because I had other lawyers that I had before that one I had. And one of them told me, he was like, "I'm gonna give your money back." He was like, "I don't do federal cases, and the feds coming to get you."
But why did you say that though?
I don't know. I think the state was just holding me on no bond while the feds tried to prepare an indictment.
So was it because it was a lot of money, or because it was the bank stuff?
Well, first of all, I feel like they didn't give me a bond, and they were just holding me because I always had like failure to appears and stuff like that.
Okay, yeah.
And then once I got to the feds, their reason for not giving me a bond was because they said the bank stuff, and they was like, it's something that's reoccurring with me, and they just couldn't afford to let me go. They said I was an economical threat or whatever. So they didn't give me a bond either. So I only sat for like a year before I got sentenced though. Like, and it wasn't like I waited a long time to get sentenced.
Okay, so when you got sentenced, you sat in there for a year. So when they sentenced you, what did they charge you with, and then what was the sentence that
they charged me with? Originally, I had aggravated identity theft, bank fraud, computer fraud, and it was something else. Oh, it was conspiracy to aggravated identity theft. And what they did was they ended up dropping the computer fraud and the conspiracy, and they ended up giving me bank fraud and aggravated identity theft.
And they sentenced you to what?
They sentenced me to 81 months.
81 months is how long?
6 years and 9 months.
6 years and 9 months.
Yeah.
Now, did that
include what you already did? The year that you
you get credit for the year that you did. You get credit for that. Yeah.
So technically, the state never charged you anyway. You were just
they didn't. So the 6 months
that
I waited in the state, they credited that to my sentence.
Okay.
Yeah. So I had to actually, once I finally got to prison, I had to actually go down there to R&D and talk to them and have them call over to the prison to get the credit. It wasn't originally on my release date when I first got it, when I got to prison.
Right. Okay, so how did so I understand that they came and got you. Like, did somebody tell you, or did like something, okay. So somebody ratted you out. And they got less time for that? Yeah,
they did. Okay. And it was so crazy because when it happened, they ended up sending me over there to the detention center where the girl was at. But mind you, when I got there, I didn't know my co-defendants. Okay. My co-defendants, I didn't know them. They kind of like put me with them just told them like, hey, this our crew, but I didn't know them. Never seen them a day in my life. We actually ended up getting cool though, me and my co-defendants. Okay. They were all men. But they ended up designating me there to where she was at. But I remember when I went in transit after I got sentenced, when you get sentenced in the feds, you go right into transit, probably like 2-3 days later. Okay. So I went into transit. I'm sitting out there. We at the little
transit
airstrip.
When you go into where you're going to do your time.
Right. Okay. So mind you, the feds have so many programs now for you to get time off your sentence. Right. They got all type of drug programs. They got so many programs you can do that take into place with the First Step Act. Okay. So a lot of prisons don't have all these programs though. They only have like 2 prisons out of all the female FCIs that actually have all the classes they have to offer, which is Tallahassee and I forgot the other one called. I think it's in Alabama or somewhere like that. But they only have those 2. So when we get out there to the airstrip, when you get to the airstrip, you fly out to Oklahoma. And then you find out where you're going once you get to Oklahoma. The only how you don't fly out to Oklahoma is if you are going to Danbury in Connecticut, or if you are going to Philly, the detention center. Mind you, I was in the jail the whole time with the girl, but I wasn't too for sure if she was the one that told on me anyways. Okay. But she wasn't in the same pod as me. But I was there with her the whole time, Once I got out there, we were all joking about how the plane had like some tape on the wing or whatever. And I was saying how I was scared to get on the plane. And I just remember them coming over there, calling my name. And they told me that I was going to Philly. I I started crying.
Oh, wow.
I barely cried that whole time.
Right.
But I started crying because I'm like, I only did a year of my time. Y'all gave me 6 years and 9 months to be exact. There's no way I can walk none of this time down in Philly. And on top of me not being able to walk the time down in Philly, I'm gonna be in a building. I just been in a jail. Yeah, they don't. It's not. They don't have like an actual compound or nothing like that.
So it's more set up like far as the states, how the state looks compared to how
it's
the
just a jail.
It's a jail.
It's a jail. That's all it is. And they only have one. They only have one unit for the women in Philly. It's all men for real.
Right.
But yeah, so once they called my name, I started crying. So I go get on the bus, and the girl was like, she was like, "What's wrong with you?" It was a stud. She was like, "What's wrong with you?" And I was like, "They just gave me 6 years and 9 months, and I've been sitting in the jail all this time, and they want me to go back and go sit in another jail."
Right.
I was like, "They don't even have programs here." She was like, "Shit, when you hit the floor, just rock off on somebody." She was like, "Pick a chair and just beat a girl down." Wow. So I was like, "Well, what's that gonna do?" So she was like, they basically had to put a step on y'all, and if the girl was there first, they're going to keep her there. Or she was like, "Oh, shoot, I know some people, you might could say that y'all got a separate against y'all, try to say the girl was on your case or something." I was like, "Well, I heard the girl that is on my case is there."
Right.
So she was like, "That's your ticket right there to, not go there." I ended up getting the R&D. I told the people about it. They wasn't trying to hear it. They said, "Oh, girlfriends, they just try to travel all the time." So what a lot of women in prison would do is they would try to get separatees on people so they could try to make it to the prison where their girlfriend is at.
Right.
But I never been to prison, so I didn't understand that at the time. So when she said it, I'm like, I don't even got a girlfriend. Like, what are you talking about? So the girl was telling me, she was like, "Whatever you do, don't go down to the unit because it's going to make it look like you lying or whatever." So I was like, all right, I refused to go down to the unit. They ended up putting me in the shoe, which is the hole.
Right.
They put me in there.
How was that though?
I was in there for the first time. I was in there for 3 days, and I thought I was going to lose. No, I think I was in there for like 5 days. I thought I was going to lose my mind. So one of the girls that they had put in the room with me, she told me, she was like, "Yeah."
Wait a minute. So let's do a quick recap before this hole. You out planning it all started with you planning your day, going to hang out with some friends that you never made it to because you end up taking a shot, going to sleep, right? They wake you up. You don't have on any clothes. They give you a blanket. So now you're walking out of the house with nothing on but a blanket. Getting in the car, they telling you what's going on. You go to jail.
No, they end up giving me clothes.
Okay, you end up getting clothes. Okay.
Yeah.
So you go to jail. You end up being in there for 6 months. Never went back home. 6 months. Then you go to the Fed. You end up being in there for a year before they gave you your 6 years, 9 months. Then they transport you to go do your time, and you end up being in a hole for 5 days.
Yeah, and you go from jail to jail before you even make it to transport.
But I'm just saying you end up being in a hole. You going from jail to jail. Never went back home, and you end up being in a hole for 5 days.
And I actually
devastated.
I want to be an advocate for women that's going through transit with the feds, because transit is horrible.
Really?
It's horrible. They drive you from Warsaw, Virginia to Philadelphia. No water. You hungry.
What?
You can't use the bathroom. I came on my cycle the morning they came to get me, and they told me I could not take my pads.
Of course. I mean, I get, far as security wise, I get all that. I do, but when you get there, you finally tell them you need to use the bathroom. They don't even uncuff you to use the bathroom. And you've been riding for several hours.
Yes.
Yeah,
they don't uncuff you.
That's like inhumane.
It is. Yeah. Right. And then the box lunch that after you sit out there for hours before they get everybody loaded to where they're going at, when you don't get your food or your snack or whatever until you're finally designated to where you're going. And once you get to that point, when they give you the food, they give you a water that's this size. They give you a piece of sandwich meat that is brown and it is frozen. Like, it was literally brown and it was literally ice. Like, you could just break it and it just cracked because it's ice. Like, it's disgusting. And you're starving. And then they stop and they take a pee. The man was walking all out the store, zipping his pants up. They act like they didn't even want to let me go to the bathroom in the beginning until I told them I was going to piss in their floor. And then they wanted to try to make something happen to take me to the restroom. But I think they just need to do something better with transport.
Okay, so so you're now transport. You're in Philly, right? So you're in the hole for 5 days, and then what happens after that? Like
I was in there for 5 days.
Back out.
So basically what they did was I was in there for 5 days. The lady explained to me, one of the girls that I was in the cell with, she was like, if they ship you out of here, she was like, you gonna be up here for probably about 3 to 4 months. So I got to looking around like, I can't sit in this room for 3 to 4 months. Mm-hmm. So when they finally came around, I was like, just drop me down to the unit. Just drop me down. They ended up dropping me down to the unit. Once I got down there to the unit and I peeped it out, I was like, I cannot live like this. Like, I can't. So I went to go talk to the counselor. You literally, in downtown Philly, you can look out your window and you just see people just living their life. Like, it's so depressing. People just walking with their couples, walking with their dogs, and just living. Cars passing by, bumping music. It just make you sick. I was like, so I went and talked to the man. I was like, I'm not supposed to be here. The girl that told me is here. I'm trying to use this as leverage to get out of here. So after I felt like they wasn't paying me no mind, I just was like, forget it. I'm going to go on order commissary. I'm going to get settled in. They not hearing me. As soon as I got ready to settle in, that very next day, they came and got me and was like, hey, such and such called. You can't be over here. And they put me in the SHU. I was in the SHU from October into the hole.
Oh, the hole. Okay, I didn't know that was.
It's called the SHU Special Housing Unit. That's what it stands for. They ended up putting me in the SHU, and I sat in there I was in there from the end of September to. I ended up finally leaving to my new destination the day after Christmas.
So you did do the 3 months, like they said there. Okay, so when you were sitting there and you were in the hole. What were some of your thoughts? Like, how was you processing mentally being in a SHU?
If you honestly want to know, I made the best out the situation. I was talking to the dudes in the bowl. Okay. I had a bowl boyfriend.
So you was on the phone?
No, through the toilet.
Yeah, through the toilet. They call the phone.
Yeah. Yeah, I was talking to the dudes in the bowl. I had a little bowl boyfriend. He used to come out through the window and call my name. Right. I used to go put the vitamin E pills on the window so I could see him. And I was pretty much just waiting. Okay. Like, I was just waiting. And only thing that messed me up the most was not being able to talk to my kids on the phone. Okay. So that was kind of like really messing me up. My youngest son, he was little at the time, so he didn't really understand what was going on. But my oldest son, he knew what was going on. So it was kind of hard not talking to them. But I just made the best out of the situation until they finally came and told me I was designated.
Okay. So let's go back a bit. So when you were sentenced that time, or matter of fact, when you were doing your time, at what time did you think like, oh, you know what, when I get out, I ain't gonna be doing this. Like, that's over. I know, you need money to survive. I know I need money to survive. I know it takes money for everything, but I'm not gonna do that anymore because of the position I'm in now.
What made me feel that way was because, like I told you before, I was repetitive with it. And that's one of the reasons I couldn't get a bond. So it was like, obviously, jail just wasn't stopping me. It wasn't enough. But it was going through transit and actually just being there every single day and having to listen to people, having to turn the lights off when they want you to turn the light off, having to live in a room around a whole bunch of girls, having to fight all the time, in regular life.
Using that fighting and stuff?
Yeah, but in regular life, you don't just have a fight. Fighting is just not normal on the street. Right. For women anyways. Not unless you just dramatized and you just thugged out. Right. But you probably have a fight like once every 5 years or something like that and can't believe you had it. And then it's like to go in there and every time you turn around, you fighting over the phone. You fighting over the shower. You fighting because she blinked at you wrong. You fighting because you just skipped there in the computer line. She too loud while you on a visit. It's just, you just fighting.
Yeah. And you know what, like, with women being in prison, like, they're very catty. Like, they're very needy, extra needy. So I can imagine, because it seemed like you're a little firecracker too. It seemed like, look, girl, I'm small or whatever, but you ain't gonna tell me what to do. Like, so I can see you fighting over the phone. I can see you skipping the line.
No, I ain't never skipped it, but I done got skipped.
Okay,
and we just not doing that. We not about to be skipping. You gonna wait. I waited. You gonna wait.
Right,
So
right.
this is going on in the federal prison too? I thought the federal prison was like a little bit more relaxed.
Well, that's the camps.
Okay.
You know, you got different levels. You got the camps, the FCI. And I don't know if they have a USP for women with the feds. I don't think they do.
So you didn't never go to a camp. You was actually in a...
No, I couldn't go to a camp. So how they do it is they put, when I got my paper with my points, because your points will tell you where you can go if you're camp eligible.
You've been in trouble before.
Yeah, so... But no, the thing was that I didn't have that many points that I couldn't go to a camp. The thing was that I never used to go to court. So when I got my paper, I seen that I had 4 escapes. So they wouldn't allow me to go to a camp. I had to go behind a fence. So I was like, why do I got all these escapes? And he was like, did you used to not go to court? I was like, yeah. And he was like, that's why. Failure to appear is escape. I was like, I didn't know that.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, dang. Oh.
So you did your time, and then you were saying like, nah, I'm not gonna do this anymore.
Yeah. I was like, it's over with. It's just not worth it, because it's like once you get in there, all you got is them stories. That's all you got. I was living it up, but I mean, what good is it now?
Oh yes, that's what I was gonna ask you too. Like when they came and got you, like were you one of the ones that like, did you have money under the floor? Like, did you have it in the, in the floor?
No, and actually at the time,
all the money.
At the time, I didn't even have that much money because I had invested into real estate.
Okay, and you basically was on the outs of that.
Yeah, I was basically just an investor.
Okay.
And then, like I told you, when I first got into the house, and I met a guy, and he was into housing super heavy. So I kind of would just like give him the money, and then he would go do it for him. But everything would be in my name. Like once he found the house, but the new construction that we had just started on that I invested in, that was all him. I just was invested as far as money wise.
Right.
And I would go run around and stuff like that for him. But like my rental properties and stuff like that, all of that was me.
So, but you weren't able to keep any of that once they got you.
Oh, I sold it.
You sold it?
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. Okay, so what would you tell the younger you?
I would tell the younger me to be patient, take your time, and just don't cut no corners. Work hard for what you want. I would have just worked harder, and I just wouldn't have cut no corners. And you appreciate money more when you don't cut corners, when you actually do work for it.
Do the work, yeah.
Yeah. And it's like when you just out here just getting money, you spend it. You spend it just as quick as you getting it. And then when it all comes down to it in the end, you really don't have nothing to show for it. And it's like at one point I would look at it like, oh, well, I did have these houses, but I had to get rid of my houses because the trouble that I got into. Mm-hmm. So it was like when it's all said and done, I really don't have nothing. I did it all for nothing, just for the memories and the stories and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then you was kind of living the fast life, so it all went together. You started the fast life at 15 because it was going too slow. You want everything to be grown. So yeah, it all went together. But the thing about it is, it was a reason why you had to, go through what you had to go through.
Yeah.
And maybe it is because like now you're saying you want to, do something, be an advocate for women being transported in the system, or maybe it's to help younger girls that might be thinking the same way, because trust and believe, it's another 15-year-old out here that's thinking the exact same thing you thought about when you was 15. How old are you now?
31.
Oh, okay. So did you do your whole 6 years?
I did 4.
You did 4, okay. So you did the programs.
And then you got, they changed good time. So you get a year of good time now.
But all that fighting you was in there doing?
I ain't lose no good time. When they started fighting, people saying happy birthday when the guards came in.
Oh.
So really the only time that you really got caught fighting is if you got caught, if you was fighting on the yard.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And sometimes they wouldn't even catch you then. If you go back there to the racquetball court, you ain't getting caught.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay.
So basically, if you go back there to the racquetball court, you got to be able to hold your own.
You got to be able to hold your own wherever you go.
Yeah.
Wherever you go, you need to be able to hold your own. But
no, let's get up on this camera and fight. Because you fight, and then people coming in, I'm going to fall out.
You talking about let's get up on this camera and fight. We ain't getting up on. You got to understand people that go back there in the shoe, they lose about 10, 15 pounds because they starving. You know, you lose your canteen, your phone calls. Nobody wants to do that.
A lot of privileges.
Yeah.
Yeah, but because see, it's designed to really, it's supposed to be to
break
discipline, right? Mm-hmm. But sometimes it can mentally break you,
right?
Because it's like the only thing you have is those walls and your thoughts, and you ain't looking at no TV. Like me personally, like me with my mind, 3 days would probably been like 30 days. Me, when they came and got me, they probably been rolling me out. I would have been no good,
right? That's right. So that was a punishment, but basically you was being punished for the person that told on you, and since they couldn't put
I can't really say that I was being punished because of that, because I was
had
just
to go in the hole. No, I'm talking about in reference to you having to go because they put you in the same facility.
But see, the thing
person.
was that's what I was shooting for. Mm-hmm. I was trying to get to a facility that had programs. Mm-hmm. Right. So I knew that she was there first. So they were going to move me. They weren't going to move her. Mm-hmm. And on top of me wanting to get somewhere where they had programs, I wanted to be able to go outside.
Right.
I didn't want to be, and they sent me to Florida. I was okay. I got up there. It was an actual FCI. I would go to school. I got my GED. I took all type of classes. Okay. They had it so that women could actually work. They had a salon. Mm-hmm. They had you could work.
It was better than Philly.
Yes. Oh. Yeah. It was like a little college campus. Okay. You actually walk and go outside to the child hall. They had a whole track thing back there. They had the weight yard. Mm-hmm. Like it was like a college campus.
Okay.
Because we've heard people say that, like in the feds, it's like you're on vacation. I've heard some people be like, man, I went on vacation. Where you was at? I was on vacation. Vacation? Like, I understand things are, like nicer compared to the state. But maybe because I never been, that I was chalk it up as vacation.
No, I wouldn't chop it up as vacation. Not at all. But I remember one day this girl was getting ready to go home, and I remember her saying, she was like, oh, dang, Zooty. That was my prison name, Zooty. Everybody there had prison names. So she was like, dang, Zooty. I'm just sitting here thinking. She was like, I want to go home. I'm happy about going home. Mm-hmm. She was like, but then I'm just thinking about reality too. She was like, these bills about to smack me. Yeah. These kids about to smack me. She was like, real life about to really come back in effect. And she had been gone for like 8 years.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And it was like overwhelming. So to some people, it could be overwhelming to like jump back out there. Cause I remember when I first came home, I came home to a little bit of paper.
Okay.
And I think I had my mind messed up, and I don't know, I guess I thought I was still that same person that could just blow money. And I ran through my money. Before I knew it, I didn't have $1. And life hit me. I felt like I was that little 18-year-old girl again that was trying to figure out who was going to give me something to eat. Like life hit me, and it hit me heavy. And
so when it hit you heavy, what did you do?
I kept it moving, kept going.
Yeah.
I just kept trying different stuff. I had got a job when I first came home at this place. It's like a call center. Mm-hmm. They paid you $15 an hour, but if you went in there and you grind hard enough, you get $3 for every appointment you set. But mind you, the people are calling you to set these appointments.
Okay, so that's
but you also are doing outbound calls too, but it's for people that put in like a request online to be called. So I would go in there every day, and I would set my goal to set at least 50 appointments. If you set at least 50 appointments, out of 50, probably only 30 will run.
Right.
But you're getting $3 off of every 30. So I would just count that up every day, and I would just keep grinding there. And I remember the lady, we had got into it one time, and she asked me did 2 + 2 = 4 or something like that. Mm-hmm. And I just was like, I told her, I cursed her out so bad. And I left there. I was like, forget it. I know how to get money.
Right.
I'm going to go out here. I'm going to just grind. I'm going to just try. I started making Valentine's Day baskets. Okay. I was just doing different stuff. I started selling cars. And I I just went from there. Like, I was just like, it's so much money out here, legal money.
Right, yeah.
And you just gotta grind for it.
And you have that, and you have the hustle mentality. So that means that, like, you're always gonna find how to get to the bag. Right. It's just now you're on a road where you get to the bag the legal way because you've already done a stint, or whatever you want to call it. So have you ever thought about, like, man, it's kind of tight. Let me do this little quick lick right quick. So, well, that's
How
good.
long you been home?
It'll be 2 years next month.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So how was it when you came home with your oldest son, like, over this kid?
He took to me instantly.
Okay.
And my sister had him while I was gone, and she was actually upset with. She felt like, oh, you was with me all the time. You don't love me no more. Like, she was mad. Like, she was going around to everybody venting about it, and everybody was like, he just missed his mama. Like, she just coming home, but he took to me instantly. Now, my youngest son, he didn't, like, he would come with me for a little bit, and then he'd be like, I'm ready to go back with my daddy. Okay. But when I first came home, probably about 6 months before I came home, I had ended up paying somebody for a place. I paid her up for like a year for the rent. Okay. And when I got out, she didn't have the place ready like she was supposed to. And we had to stay at my sister's house. I think I stayed at my sister's house for like 3 days. And my sister has a really strong personality, and I got a strong personality, and it just was not working. Right. So I ended up going to go stay with her daughter. I stayed with her daughter until the house came through. And it was like after that, once I moved into the house, then my youngest son wanted to come home because it was all feeling normal to him. Like, I got my own room. But at first, when I wasn't stable, he went with it. He was like, I'm going back over here. Yeah.
So how his dad feel now that he's back with you?
He don't feel no type of way. I think he happy. He is happy because that's his 5th child, and he's the youngest. All his other kids are grown, but him.
Okay, so that was a transition for him.
Yeah.
And then a big transition if even though he had 4 prior to your son, he may not have actually physically had them like that. You know what I'm saying? Like full time. So
I think he said he did though.
Okay.
I think one of his kids, one of his daughters, I think he said that he did raise her up for a little while, for some years. So yeah.
So do you regret anything that you experienced or been through?
No, I don't. Because you live and you learn. Yeah. And with everything you go through, you just learn from it. You keep it moving. You apply it, and you just keep going. So no, I don't regret nothing.
Okay. Now, the relationships that you built when you were in there, like far as the friends that you, like, are you still in contact with some of those? Yeah. Ladies?
I had some real close relationships, and 2 of the girls, since I have been home, one of them just died. Like, wow. I don't even think it's been like a whole week. Yeah, she just died, and I was supposed to go meet up with all of them. For one of my friends, she throws these big parties in Savannah. I was supposed to go meet up with all of them. I talked to her and everything, and she was like, yeah, we're going to have fun. Come on. Right. And then I just got the call the other day and said she passed away. And then one of the other girls, we were super duper close, and she passed away as well.
Wow. Yeah. So 2 of the girls passed away in the last 2 years. Okay.
Yeah.
So how does that make you feel? Like, because I mean, I just I can imagine you being in a position where you're with somebody every day. Like, so y'all built this relationship and everybody makes it out. Now, and I'm sure y'all probably had y'all plans of, like you said, getting up or whatever. So how does that make you feel?
It really makes you feel sad, and you feel like you lost somebody that you known for a long time. Because when you're around people at their most vulnerable and lowest moments, you get to know each other a little bit better than you probably knew one of your homegirls that you grew up with from high school. So I feel a little bit closer with some of them more than I do with some of the girls that I know from when I was younger. And it's just because we had each other back. Like, you really build like a sisterhood in there with some people. You got each other back at your lowest moments.
Right.
Wow.
Right.
And then, just being around them in there, and so many people, at one point I would call it the pain box. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna get out the pain box soon. I didn't even call it jail, because it was like every time you turned around, somebody was getting a phone call, and it's like you in there. The most thing that I disliked about being away in prison so much was not having control.
Yeah.
It's nothing you could do about it. And that is one of the reasons and one of the things that will always keep, if I even think about it, it's going to get out of my mind real quick.
Yeah.
You have no control.
Over nothing.
And that's something that people just, it's a bad feeling to just feel like you don't got no control.
So it sounds like for you that thing of prison is a thing of deterrence for you. To where it's like, so what if one of your friends that you were in the pain box with, right? They were feeling like, okay, well, you know that they're out there doing X, Y, and Z. Like, would you encourage them to be like, nah, that ain't the thing, or you act like you don't even see it?
No, I'll definitely speak on it. On it. But at the end of the day, people are going to do what they want. And they going to stop when they want to stop. You know, you can talk all you want, but people they going to keep going until they ready.
Yeah. So I heard you say something when you said about you want to be an advocate for the women who are in transition, transit rather. Have you made any steps towards that?
No, I have not. I have just really got back to where I want to be. And I'm getting to a place where I can finally I can focus on other stuff versus just focus on trying to get me together. Because my first year was rough. It was real rough. I ain't even going to say my first year. Matter of fact, it started getting better for me when I hit that year. And things really start progressing for me. So I'm getting to a point where I can start focusing on that. But right now I'm opening up my own business and I work and I got 2 kids. But it's definitely not something that I just completely forgot about and I'm not going to do it. I just got to get around to it. Yeah,
because even now, everybody's on social media now. So even if you can't physically get out to wherever you need to be, you can set your phone up and you can start recording and just recording some of the things that you've experienced or what you've been told. And that is a gateway to help get it out too.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because you got people in prison now, they got phones. So I seen a video the other day where I want to say some small town state, the guy had a phone in there, but it was literally on fire in there. For 30-something minutes, nobody came in there.
They had the girls at Hazleton. They came over there and they didn't have no water for weeks. Wow. They were taking a number 2 in bags. Wow. It was bad. And then even when I was in the county, when I was out in Suffolk, when you come on your cycle, they only give you 2 pads a day. That's all you can get. 2 pads. What am I gonna do with 2 pads?
Yeah, you're gonna need them at the same time.
Yeah, you get 2 pads a day, and then even down to the way they feed you. If you don't have family on the outside, you don't got nobody that's rocking with you or helping you out, you are doomed in there. But one thing I can say about it, when you get to prison, nobody's starving in prison. Nobody. Okay. Everybody hustling. I'm talking about they were selling Dollar Tree irons for $500.
For real?
Yeah, because they don't have microwaves in the feds. Okay. So people cook with irons.
Right.
And they would sell, the little green iron they sell in Family Dollar for $10 or $20.
Right.
They sell it for $500. You go get you a job in the right spot. You go get you a job at commissary. People paying you off the rip. So when the new shoes hit and the new watches hit, all of that, go on pay me so you can pull my basket, put my stuff in my basket. People don't like sending their clothes out the laundry. You got girls in there washing laundry. You got some of the best hairstylists in there.
Right, yeah.
I remember I was on the phone with my son one day and I was like, the phone was getting ready to hang up. I was like, all right, I got to get ready to go make this move. I said, I'm going to go get my nails done. Then when I come back, I'm going to call you. He was like, go get your nails done. I thought you was in prison. I said, yeah, they do nails in here. Right. So I would go out there on the courtyard and get my nails done. This little old lady, she had been there for almost 40 years at that same compound. When the first step hit, they came and got her and told her that it was time for her to go. Mind you, she did nails. She sold bathing suits. She been there for years. She was there for years. And they came and got her, told her it was time for her to go. She asked them, can y'all come out tomorrow? I need to finish this I said, girl, if you don't get up.
Oh, she didn't spend all that time in there. She didn't want to go out there.
And she was old. She was
no
like,
rush.
she said, I don't know what I'm going to do.
No.
She didn't know what she was going to do.
I wonder if she okay. If she's still living. Because that had to be like a major change.
Yeah, she was old too. She was real old. She was real sweet. And yeah, she was.
So right now you've been out for 2 years and you're working. So what's this new business I heard you just mentioned?
I'm opening up a clothing boutique for women.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, where you opening that up at?
On 21st Street.
Okay.
Yeah.
So have you done that before?
No, I haven't. But I like clothes.
This would be your first adventure at opening. Well, you had your own business, but it just wasn't a legal business. But now you're doing
my business was legal.
Now you're doing a legal business.
Oh, you talking about it. I thought you were talking about the houses. I was like,
no,
it was legal. Well, yeah, I guess you could say that now. I'm doing that.
So are you excited?
Yes, I am. And I'm shooting for my grand opening to be, I want it to be March 2nd because March 4th will make 2 years I was home.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm trying to do that. Which,
you have an anniversary coming up.
Yeah, so that is on a Monday. So I'm trying to, I don't want to open it up on a Monday. I want to open it up on a Saturday.
Right.
And I'm trying to be open for when the taxes come out. So everybody come, they're going to really shop when the taxes hit.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to get all that tax money. And so I've just been working hard towards that. I work with kids.
I was about to ask you about kids too.
Yeah.
So what you do with kids?
I work with kids with like behavior problems.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a
So have
challenging
you
job.
thought about doing like being a mentor?
So it's a lot of little girls in there now that they got like, they start at really young ages there and then they go all the way up. I think the youngest little girl I seen in there, she was like 6.
Okay.
And then they go all the way up until 17 years old. And some of the kids actually live there. And I talk to them all the time. You know, you need to talk to me. Come on, let's step out, whatever. I talk to them all the time. I try to take them like packs of hair so they can do their hair and, you know, stuff like that. I just try to talk to them and just speak knowledge into them. You know, of course, I can't like really. Sometimes it would be good if they could have somebody come in there and speak and actually share their experience with the kids. But, you know, of course, I can't tell the kids my story. All I could do is just give them advice. But it would be nice if we could tell the kids our story.
Oh, why you can't tell your story? Because you're an employee?
Yeah, I'm an employee. And, like, I heard a lot of some of the coworkers or whatever in the building, they be thinking that, oh, he got a felony. He can't get a job here. So it's like people don't even know, like, I'm on probation. Like, what are y'all talking about? You can definitely get a job here. 3 years. So March will be 2. And they still ain't letting me off yet. I don't know why. Right. But I have been holding on to a job, which that's something I'm so proud about. Remember I told you I could not hang on to a job. And I've been at my job for almost 7 months now. Okay. That's the longest I've ever had a job in my life.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Yes, I've never had a job that long. I told my friend, which he knew I never had a job that long. And I think on like my 90th day, he ended up taking me out and went and got drinks and stuff. He was like, man, we got to celebrate this. Yeah. We got to celebrate you being here for 3 months because you will quit a job quick.
Because
so you got a whole different person now.
Yeah, that's a milestone. So of course he's going to celebrate you. You know what I'm saying? So that's good. So what is in the future for you? I know you said that you are looking to open your store. You're working with kids. Like, what else is going on with you?
Well, for the future, how I see my future, I want to expand my business. I want that to be bigger. And I do want to take another business venture. I want to open up a group home. Okay. But, you know, to open up a group home, it's going to take contracts, money, all of that stuff. But I really want to open up a group home and
for adults or
for kids.
Okay.
And more so, I'm not even gonna really call it a group home. I want to open up a home where, like, because I noticed like at my job, some of the kids, they're not there because they have behavior problems. They're there because social service couldn't find them placement.
Gotcha.
So they'll just find them placement and they'll just place them there. And some of the kids, they come in there and they're, like I said, they're just placed there. So they don't have these attitudes and these behavior problems and these self-harm stuff that they do. They don't have that. But when they get around these other little girls that do, they pick it up. You know, so I would want to open up a home for like placement for mainly girls, but I wouldn't mind taking boys too. But to begin off with it, I would like to open up a home for girls, teenage girls that don't have nowhere to go, and just give them like the ropes of life, you know, teach them stuff that they can actually use when they go out into the world, you know, teach them about their appearance, teach them about how to speak, how important it is to work hard for, you know, just teach them stuff.
And just like you said, when you said, like real life skills, right? And then, you know, then when you do that, then you can incorporate having somebody come in, just like you said, like you wish they can do for where you're at now. You come in and talk to them, because I think if you have people with impact, you know, some kids will take to that, and they'll be like, you know, they'll really sit and listen, versus somebody coming there with a suit on and with a briefcase, and they sit there saying, oh, don't do this or don't do that. They're not trying to hear it. So they can see somebody that they actually can relate to, and then just by their appearance, then when they open their mouth and talk, they're like, oh, okay. Yeah, so I think that'd be dope.
Yeah, I do too.
It would. It definitely would.
That's something you need
definitely
to look
in my
into,
future. Yeah, I've looked into it, and like I said, it's a lot of work.
Yeah.
So one thing that I'm trying to learn is how to focus on one thing at a time. Don't be scatterbrained.
Right.
When I get scatterbrained, I'll be all over the place, and then nothing never gets done. So I'm gonna stick to one task, and I'm gonna do that one. Once I get that up and rolling, then I can start focusing on other stuff.
Right. Gotcha. Well, I have enjoyed talking to you. I've learned so much, and even down to, you know, when you're in transit eating that stale bologna, that spicy
frozen. She said it was frozen.
that meat. But you know, I think that it was unfortunate that you experienced that, but at the same time was fortunate because of that, you're like, nah, I ain't trying to go back there. I ain't trying to do that. And also I want to make a difference in, you know, in other people's lives too, because of what you experienced. So, you know, and I think experience is the best teacher. You know, so like sometimes I don't want to go through that. Like, I'll take your word for it. You know, but so I've learned a lot, and I'm sure when this episode drops, people are going to you know, hopefully they'll be able to relate, and it'll be a deterrence for them too, because every dog has a day. Like, no matter what we do, you know, we can be high today and on our back tomorrow.
Yeah.
This is how it is. So so how can people find you, like on social media? Like, if we were to have someone who were to hit us up or be interested in talking to you, maybe for a mentorship, or maybe for, you know, like a better word, look, let me go talk to her and see how I really was, because I'm on that road too. So how can we find you?
Okay, so my Instagram name is Raven Samone. Samone is spelled with an A. 92. No, it's Raven Samone _92. Okay,
so you only on Instagram?
Yeah, I got Instagram and I got TikTok, but I don't want to share my TikTok name.
Gotcha. It's nothing wrong with saying private, like a little bit. Is that wrong?
Yeah.
So, well, like I said, we've enjoyed the conversation, and this part, I really need you to dig deep in.
You seemed like you was about to say something else, and then your mind went somewhere. That's that scatterbrain.
No, it's not scatterbrain, because I was about to ask you, right?
Oh, yeah.
Let's go get it. Check away from today.
Mind your business.
So, you already told me don't ask you that no more, so. So it's like, you know, like, it's like routine. So you got to get out of it. So I'm trying to respect what she's saying. So I ain't going to ask her. But anyway, this is the part of the episode where you really get to tell us heartfelt, like, and don't be scared, like, we're not gonna jump in anything like that. But we want to know how your time has been since you've been on Way to Gam Minute tonight.
It's been good. It was great talking to y'all. I liked the feedback, the engagement. It was awesome. Yeah. It was
awesome.
Thank you, girl.
All right, so with that being said, stay tuned to all things Way to Gam Minute. Good night.